What of 90 Day Fiancé? The other ways most talked about couples may have quietly called it quits, and their recent social media activity is raising major red flags. James Solis, a Maine-based elevator mechanic, connected with Mytalia Tatha Tantri online. After 2 months of messaging, he flew to Indonesia, met her in person, and proposed within days, marking the start of their whirlwind romance. When The Other Way premiered, the couple lived in Maine, where Tatha faced mysterious health issues and homesickness. She ultimately decided to return to Indonesia for treatment, and James joined her, uprooting his life and career. Their abrupt move highlighted how unprepared they were emotionally and financially. Their Indonesian experience tested them in cramped living conditions, money struggles, a rushed local wedding, and clashing life goals, like James not wanting children. These tensions caused conflict with Tatha's family and eventually led to James returning to the US to rebuild their financial stability. Their time in Indonesia brought several challenges. They lived in tight spaces, faced financial stress, and had a quick wedding without much planning. On top of that, they didn't agree on big life choices, like whether to have children. These issues caused tension, especially with Tatha's family, and led James to return to the US alone. Now, signs suggest this shocking 90-day fiancé couple may have ended their relationship. James and Mytalia decided to move to Indonesia but didn't tell their friends or family. James worked for his family's business and kept the move a secret, afraid of their reaction. Leaving without saying goodbye hurt their loved ones. This choice showed they didn't fully think through how such a sudden move would affect everyone. They weren't ready financially for such a big move. James and Mytalia sold their things and used their savings, but had no job waiting in Indonesia. James thought he could work for Mytalia's family, but they never talked about money. With no real plan, they quickly ran into problems, showing they hadn't prepared enough before leaving. Things got worse when unexpected problems came up. James told Mytalia at the last minute that their dog couldn't move with them because the paperwork wasn't finished. He also admitted he might not want children, which surprised Mytalia. James and Mytalia decided to move back to Maine after living abroad in Indonesia due to Mytalia's homesickness and lingering health concerns. Their plans originally aimed at solving her medical issues and cultural discomfort, but the challenges of life overseas, such as financial struggles, family tension, and dissatisfaction, prompted their return. This shift was proof of their real-world pressures and evolving priorities. Since returning to Maine, the couple reunited with their dog Jojo and reconnected with family and friends. Social media posts show them traveling around the U.S., visiting places like Death Valley and New Hampshire. Their decision to stay child-free and focus on rebuilding financially reflects a more grounded chapter in their relationship after the uncertainties of their international move. Although they still face obstacles such as health concerns, money recovery, and Mytalia not loving the cold weather, their return shows they want more stability. James started looking at job options back in the U.S., possibly with his family's business, while Mytalia began focusing on her jewelry shop and growing her social media presence. 90-Day Fiancé blogger Kikiankibits recently noticed that something wasn't right between Tatha and James on Instagram. The creator asked their followers if something was wrong with the couple. They shared a screenshot of Tatha's Instagram profile, specifically her bio. Tatha's bio mentioned, "Making you say that's so me," apart from her writing that she is a real creator. However, it also added the text, "My ex-BF at James_90day. Tatha had tagged James in her bio and referred to H superscript to him as her ex-boyfriend instead of her husband and partner on 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way. However, Tatha didn't mind explaining what she meant. She also seemingly changed her bio after a while, probably after fans noticed it. She removed the line about the ex-BF entirely. Interestingly, Tatha posted a series of stories suggesting why she could have done it. Tatha posted a picture of herself sitting alone in the woods amid dried-up leaves and looking lonely. She wrote a quote, "No matter how much it hurts today, losing someone who doesn't have respect for you isn't a loss." It looked like Tatha was referring to James due to the change she'd made briefly in her bio. Then followed a different quote on similar lines. Tatha's post said that when someone breaks their fundamental promise, they don't deserve to remain in a person's life. Meanwhile, Tatha's story seemingly prompted James to share a cryptic post of his own. James took to Instagram to share a picture of himself with a strange caption. He wrote, "Think about your actions and think about the consequences." He added that nothing is worth losing someone who truly loves them. James' caption seemed to be a direct response to what Tatha had shared in her story about a person deserving to remain in someone's life. Tatha and James haven't been on any recent 90-Day Fiancé shows, but fans are now wondering if they're still together. Tatha called James her ex-boyfriend in her Instagram bio before quickly deleting it. She also posted quotes about being disrespected, which made people think their relationship might be in trouble, even though they haven't said anything directly. James posted his own message on Instagram that seemed to reply to Tatha's. He wrote about thinking before acting and not losing too recently, and they aren't in any new 90-Day Fiancé spin-offs. This has led some fans to believe they could be joining the next season of The Last Resort. That show helps couples fix their issues with therapy, and their social media hints suggest they may be a good fit for it. If Tatha and James go on The Last Resort, they might finally talk openly about their issues. The show could help them figure out if they want to stay together or go their separate ways. Right now, it's hard to know what's really going on. But 90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way fans will keep watching closely to see what happens next with their relationship.